Okay, so I wanted to follow up on the DeepSeek video that I put out on Monday showing how to generate maps using DeepSeek. I wanted to dive a bit deeper and ask the question of DeepSeek, can you do more in-depth geospatial analysis? So I've got DeepSeek on the screen here. Let's ask exactly that question. I know you can create maps, but can you go deeper and do spatial analysis? Let's see what DeepSeek comes back with. Right, so we're getting output. So like I said, it actually starts to think, and then it actually gives us a sense of what it can do. And I'll get you to, I can't read through all of this, but you can slow this video down or pause this video just to see. But it can do an amazing amount of analysis, far beyond what I ever anticipated. Again, it's still going. So what I'm going to do next is ask it a very specific question, which is around site selection. It's a question I sometimes ask. Sometimes I use an example as to a value of geospatial actually. So let's ask this, and we'll see how, if the server's busy, we may have to try this a few times, but I'm going to ask a question. Great. So I would like to find the best locations for a new Starbucks in New York City. We need to consider existing Starbucks locations and subway stations, since often commuters will leave subway stations in the morning to go to work and buy a Starbucks on their way. I want to find ideal locations. Can you help? Let's ask that question. Good. So took us a couple of tries, but again, it's now going to walk us through how it would tackle this particular problem, finding ideal new locations for Starbucks. So again, it goes through this process of thinking. It's fast. I kind of go back and reread this stuff, but I love the way that it actually provides the thought process. It's kind of like us, you know, it's actually sort of mulling it over and giving us its mulling thoughts. And then it comes out and starts talking about how it's going to approach the problem. So here we have that, and here we have how it's going to approach. So I went through this, and at some point here, it's going to start actually generating code. So walk through the analysis or how it's going to approach it, and then starts generating Python. What I'm going to do next is actually to show you the Python that it generated and the process to actually generate something, and I'll show you the end result of this, which is quite remarkable. So we'll let it generate the code there. Let me just go over to Colab. So as I did in the last video, I encourage folks to actually use Colab. It's a development environment. You don't have to be an expert developer, but you need a Google account. So this on the screen now is Colab, and I'm going to bundle all this up for you so you can try this yourself. One thing I would note for you, if you're using Colab, if you're using, let's just go back to DeepSeek very quickly. If you want to, the server's often quite busy, so turn off search. Search is its capabilities to go across the web and find information that from a question. But if you turn off search, you're going to get better results in terms of delays. You know, I often say the server's busy. I had that trouble here, but turn off search and it's going to be a bit easier for you. So that being said, the first thing you want to do is go put in this. Again, I'll provide this, but this is how we're going to upload the shapefiles. Now, the reason I mentioned search for you there was it is possible that DeepSeek can go and actually find the data for you that we need for this process. Because of so many people using the server, I didn't do that in this case. I actually went and I asked ChatGPT, find me some shapefiles, and I downloaded the shapefile. So again, I'm going to provide those to you so you can download them. But what this does is it allows us to actually upload those shapefiles into Colab. So I'll just walk you through that very quickly. So we'll put in that command, and then we'll hit this button here, and it will process. Take a second. Okay. And then we're going to choose the file. And it's going to walk through the process of uploading that file. So we'll wait for that to happen. Again, I may cut this video, so I'm going to wait and watch this. Okay, so that's done. Go below that, click on code, and we'll put this in as well, and we'll run that. So that's loaded the data into where we want it to go. The next thing I'm going to get you to do is, and actually I'm not even going to show you this, I'm going to give you the code, the Python that DeepSeek provided me. So I could, at this point now, do code and put in the code that I'm going to provide you. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to run it because it takes about 4 minutes to run. What I am going to do is show you the results of that. So let's jump across. This is what we came up with. So let me walk you through this really quickly, and this is incredible. The blue dots are subway stations. Again, this is New York City, and this is an interactive map. So the blue dots are subway stations. The green dots are existing Starbucks. Again, all taken from the shapefile. So we've got this drop down here, and we've got 3 things in there. We've got, number 1, exclusion zones. What's that? Well, exclusion zones are buffers around existing Starbucks. So we don't obviously want to put our new Starbucks close to an existing Starbucks. So that's what those buffers are. We've also got subway buffers as well, which is sort of that catchment area around subways, which is an ideal place for us to go. So one is where we shouldn't go, and one is where is an ideal location. So let's turn all of those off for the minute. And what I've asked for is ideal location. Where are those areas where we can put a new Starbucks, given the buffers that we've just spoken about? There's the buffers. So this is in New York. This is the ideal location for a new Starbucks. Let's just zoom into here and take a look at this. So there's an area here, some blocks, which would be ideal. They're outside of the buffer for existing competitors, other Starbucks, but they're also within a buffer of that subway station. So this has come up with very quickly, really, where, and again, this would be useful to those guys in real estate, in Starbucks, to actually determine where a new Starbucks should go. So incredible. And I did some work with this yesterday. So I went through a number of iterations, which you'll have to do to make sure everything works properly. Initially, the dots on the map were all blue, so I had to go back and forth to make sure we differentiated them by color. But try this stuff out. Like I said, I'm gonna share this with you so you can play with this. You can bring up Colab, you can walk through these steps, drop in the code, and generate this map. And let me know what you find. One last thing, I'm gonna do a lot more in DeepSeek, but if you wanna keep ahead of this and all things that are happening in the geospatial world that's new, sign up for our newsletter. I've got the Geospatial 2.0 Insights newsletter that I try and do every single week. But feel free to sign up for it. I've got a link for it below, and I'll keep you up to date with this and all the amazing things that happen in the geospatial world. For today, thanks for watching.